Well, Georgetown has come to Port of Spain, and the joys and the celebrations continue to go wild on the field as Guyana have just snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, thanks to 19-year-old Jonathan Foo, who made it happen for his country. What a spectacular climax to the Caribbean T20. We couldn't have asked for a more exciting finish.
Definitely not. It was the game of the season, I think. At one stage, Guyana looked like they were out of it. Barbados were cruising, and that man, Jonathan Foo, came back. And it was a fantastic game. The fans loved it all. I mean, everybody was just got into the game. I think we had a great final.
Well, coming into this final, Jonathan Foo averaged 61. And when he came to the crease, Guyana were in lots of trouble. The run rate was at 14.4, and Foo came in at a time when they really needed to up the run rate. He struck 4 sixes, 5 fours, and one of the sixes he struck was actually when he could have been dismissed. But Larry Babb put the catch down, and it went over the boundary for 6. Let's have a look at the highlights from the Guyana innings. They needed 135 to win. It was early trouble when Dowling was out LBW. Ben had his man, and the Guyanese lost one of their main men. Sunarayan Shanagoon was struggling today. He just didn't have his rhythm, and it was evident. He was out caught, and Barbados had 2 early wickets. Ryan Hines, the captain, had them under trouble. Then Narsi and Dinarine came in and struck a big 6. The pressure was eased. Ramnaresh Sarwan, though, was out. A very good catch. The second one to Jonathan Carter. Barnwell, who was a big hitter in the prelims, didn't have the luck today. Caught by Searles. But Dinarine kept on hitting and giving Guyana every inch of hope. When he was dismissed, caught by Ashley Nurse, it was big trouble. And then Royston Crandon became the 3rd wicket of Ashley Nurse. Cush, who was destructive, was bowled by Ben, and Barbados had it all sewn up. It was even more sewn up when Houston Crandon was bowled leg stump. And then Derwin Christian struck a 6 to keep things interested. So too did Jonathan Foo. But when Christian was well caught, just inside of the boundary, it seemed that the match would definitely go in Barbados' favour, as Ashley Nurse had a 5-wicket haul. But then it was the Jonathan Foo show. The crucial drop catch. This was the game, but Larry Babb put it down and went over the boundary for 6. In the last over, Foo just took control. He was like the captain driving a ship, and he sailed the victory for Guyana. The victory sealed, signed and delivered. Guyana are on their way to South Africa to play the Airtel Champions League for US $11 million. And my goodness, the Guyanese went crazy here at Port of Spain. It was a fantastic night. Barbados beaten, Guyana winning. They're going to South Africa on September the 7th for the Airtel Championships. Could they have asked for a better campaign?
Definitely not. I mean, it was the perfect ending. Foo, the man, I think, who was the find of this tournament. It was fitting that he was there to see it home. I also think that Bishu, who had a tremendous tournament with the ball, both of them at the end for Guyana. They had no more wicket to lose. They had us to bring it home, and for the 2 players to do so, I'm very impressed with Foo. Very, very impressed with the way he played.
There was an opportunity we saw for Foo to be dismissed. Larry Babb, in his 2nd T20 game, he must be feeling kind of dejected now. What would you say to him at this stage?
Well, there's not a lot you can say to him. I think he was probably the last player to leave the field. He was sitting out there, he was moving around, he was very dejected. He knew the disappointment. He had let his team down. There's a simple catch to end the game. It went for 6 as well, to rub salt into the wound. So he must be very, very despondent right now.
I understand that there's a big party going on in Bridgetown because a lot of Guyanese are there celebrating the victory for Barbados. And don't talk about Guyana at all. The text messages, the emails coming from Georgetown. Even the president has sent a confirmation and a welcoming gift for Guyana as they come back home tomorrow. It's going to be a party time all week in Georgetown.
Well, I mean, if you judge by how they party there on the field when they run out and everything, they just got carried away. The flags were on the field. The Guyanese took over here at Queen's Park Oval. The Guyanese are in a party mood, and you can't stop them. They deserve it.
Well, let's look at the 10 teams now that are going to play in the Airtel Championships, which will be in September, the Champions League. Chennai Super Kings out of the IPL, so too the Mumbai Indians, the Warriors from Sri Lanka, the Victorian Bush Rangers from Australia, the Wamba 11s, they are from Sri Lanka, Central Stags, they're from New Zealand, the Lions, they're coming out of South Africa, South Australian Redbacks from Australia, Royal Challengers Bangalore from India, and Guyana representing the West Indian team at the big Airtel Champions League 2010 as they play for $11 million in Johannesburg, Centurion, Port Elizabeth, and Durban. You remember Trinidad and Tobago went to the final in November last year, and the chances are now for Guyana to try and do the same. It's going to be a very, very good Champions League. You have to feel happy for that man, Jonathan Foo. First tournament, his first tournament ever for Guyana, 19 years old, started playing cricket from the time he was about 6 years old, and ever since this talent and his potential has been realized, and he's come tonight in his very first year and shone so brightly for the Guyanese.
He certainly did. He did a fantastic job for Guyana. He saw them home. He had a good series. His outfield was good. His out cricket was good. I think he's one for the making. West Indies selectors need to keep a close eye on him. He did tremendously well for Guyana. I'm impressed with his mannerism, the way he played the game. He had a never say die attitude, and he gave it everything he had. Sawan probably had a little worry look on his face, but with that man, Jonathan Foo, they've got all the Guyanese smiling.
So they're getting ready for the presentation ceremony. I think the man of the match should be pretty obvious, but they're ready now. Let's go down to Fazil Mohammed. Take it away.
What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. I think a while ago they were playing Kung Fu fighting, most appropriately. The tremendous match. Let's give these two teams a round of applause for a fantastic finale to this first Caribbean T20 under the auspices of the West Indies Cricket Board. Delight for Guyana, of course, but commiserations to Barbados. They fought brilliantly, defending a relatively small total, and they should hold their heads up high, even though at the end it's Guyana who have emerged champions. And we have to assist in the man of the match, one of the legends of West Indies cricket, a man who was at the helm of the West Indies team, which we need to remind everybody was the period of the greatest dominance in any sport at any time in the history of sport. Clive Lloyd is here with us, a director of the West Indies Cricket Board. He will make the presentation, and I don't think we need to work out who has taken the man of the match award. It is the brilliant, precocious talent, Jonathan Foo of Guyana. I'll invite him to come forward now to receive the Man of the Match award. Jonathan, don't go too far. Let me just ask you a few questions. Did you think that you could still pull it off when the 9 wickets were down?
Yeah, after all of us backing myself right through, just focus on the ball and try to hit it.
How do you manage to do this every time? From the first ball you faced in Barbados, you seem to be hitting everything for 6 and 4, easy like that.
You see, I always keep myself focused, and I always want to do the job for my country.
You've done a tremendous performance. Remember how Kyron Pollard is seen as a big hitter for Trinidad and Tobago. You think you could fit that same sort of character?
Yeah, why not, man?
Confident young man, well played.
Yeah, thanks.
Saz, did you think it was possible when you look at it, 12 runs and over towards the end, 8, and then 9 wickets down, did you give up hope?
Not really, but I was a bit tense, to be honest. I was a bit nervous, but I thought once Jonathan had the crease, we always had a possibility of pulling off the game.
Where do you think it started to go wrong in that run chase? Because 134, chasing a total in 20 overs in these conditions, you would have thought that Guyana would have been the heavy favorites.
Yeah, I thought in the first 8 overs we were very tentative. We didn't really take the kind of chance that we wanted to and execute as we wanted to. So it kind of went a bit wrong there. But fortunately, Jonathan played a brilliant innings. Probably one of the best innings I've seen in 2020.
How are your nerves? Because after yesterday's semi-final and today's final, does it seem real?
No, it's unbelievable. Throughout the tournament, we have had close games, but I think yesterday and today, it's been a real tester, and I'm really happy that we were able to pull it off.
And of course, for Guyana, champions in 2006, the first ever regional T20. You've pulled it off again, and now the challenge comes. Trinidad and Tobago made a strong showing in the Champions League. What do you think about Guyana's chances against some of the best teams in the world?
Of course, we've got to prepare properly. I think we've got a good chance of going far in that tournament, but I think it's all going to come how we prepare for that tournament. I think if we can get our support from our cricket board, we'll stand a good chance of competing in that tournament.
Well played. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we'll now invite you to step forward to receive the trophy. That's the biggest thing. Don't forget it. And no, don't let them come as yet. Just they'll come in a while, but receive the trophy first of all. Ramnari Sarwan from the president, Dr. Julian Hunt. And now we'll invite the players to come together for the celebration as Guyana have pulled it off. Champions for 2010. They would have come into the tournament with not many teams expecting them to pull it off. And now the Guyanese with Jonathan Foo, the man of the match, Devendra Bishu, the man of the series. They are the champions. That concludes the presentation towards a memorable tournament, and that's it from down here.
So then, it has been a fantastic 2 weeks of this Caribbean T20 tournament. We've enjoyed bringing it to you, and of course the West Indies Cricket Board, who have indeed been the main sponsors of this tournament, will be bringing it to you again next January for the big Calypso Cup. And before that, we'll have the 50-50 tournament in October. Congratulations to Ghana then. They'll be going to South Africa in September for the Airtel Champions Trophy. The West Indians now will be throwing their support behind them as they try to bring home the bacon in South Africa. I'm Barry Wilkinson on behalf of the entire crew for ESPN. Good night. Well done to the Bulls from Georgetown in Ghana. Bye-bye.